Angel Reese receives backlash because her welcome conference wasn't as good as Caitlin Clark's. Arnell Armon is being bashed on the internet for intentionally making herself a single mom. And B Simone drops the name of her new podcast, Let's Try It Again. Was this shade towards Megan Ashley?
Well, let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about it. It's your girl, Taylor Patrice, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It, baby. Let's talk about it. A place where we talk about the foolery that goes on the www. That's right, the World Wide Web. And today, we have a lot to unpack here. Did y'all miss me? We back. As you guys can see, I am back. It feels so good to say that shit. And I did not plan on leaving. And as you can see, there are some changes. Because I have not filmed using this space. And this is the first time I am filming using this space. I've been really trying to be in my creative bag and just have a room where it's not just giving luxury aesthetics. It's giving me creativity. It's a room that makes me feel good, like a room that makes me want to film, a room that makes me, want to think about my next project, a creative room. And so that is the start of this, and I'm nowhere near done. I have a couple of things that are going to go on the wall that you guys are going to see, and then even like my desk area, I'm going to get that together because I really want to use that, especially during the summer. I just have a lot of things that are coming y'all's way, and I've really been like so focused, y'all, like so focused. Like I know that I left YouTube, but Instagram, TikTok, girl, it's been popping. Like I'm so proud of myself. I am just so proud of myself for really digging down deep and like finding myself, learning myself, and doing a damn thing. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but baby, things are happening for me. And so I have been moved to come back to YouTube, and I never wanted to leave in the first place. But here we are. So I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a backstory. So yeah, I have been posting different stories and stuff on YouTube. So I haven't been all the way ghost. Like if you really follow me and you really mess with me, you really fuck with your girl, then you've been seeing my shorts and me just talking about different topics. I really appreciate all the love that I get over there and the hate, you know what I'm saying? They either gonna love you or they gonna hate you, baby. But I have been getting a lot of love just talking about like, the topics that I do bring to the internet. That's why, one day you're gonna see me on a talk show. One day you're gonna see your girl on a talk show, okay? Period. We're speaking it into existence because recently everything that I've said has come true. I really would love to be on a talk show along with other crazy things that I cannot wait to bring here to my channel. I just can't wait. I'm literally talking in circles. I wanted to give you guys like a life update, but I don't have that on my notes. I just have like the different topics, as you guys can see, that we're going to talk about. But where do I even start? As you guys know, especially if you're an OG, you know that I started out here with like college vlogs and stuff, just vlogging my college journey because I didn't have a traditional college journey. Like I was playing volleyball. That wasn't typical like back when I was in school. Like I know that people do that now, but athletes weren't doing social media like that at all. I really missed vlogging, but right now I don't really have like the lifestyle to just like vlog, just not for like a weekly vlog or anything. So I told myself at the beginning of the year I really wanted to like dive in deeper to doing like vlogs on Instagram and vlogs on TikTok, and it actually has been happening for me. And recently I've kind of been blowing up just a little bit, just type of. I've been blowing up with my series that is called A Day in the Life of a 10-Year Influencer that hasn't hit 100K yet, but will. And I've really just been sharing the ups and the downs of being a 10-year entrepreneur, or a 10-year influencer, sorry, because this journey has not been easy. I've went through a lot of different types of content that I wanted to film, and like just me finding myself, and once I found myself, just me being comfortable with myself and who I am, and sharing and showing my personality, which you guys have been seeing a little bit more here and on Instagram and on TikTok. And I'm grateful for that, because I did not know myself for real, and I was just getting on here, not to say that I was giving y'all fake, because baby, a Aries could never be fake, but I just wasn't, like, I didn't know how to share like all of me, because I felt like the people that I had around me at the time weren't really accepting to like who I was in totality. As such a small creator, I just want to be able to show people that like you do not need a huge following to do this shit. You just need a personality, and you just need to what am I gonna say, y'all? The OGs know. You just need to just keep swimming, swimming. So this episode of Let's Talk About It, baby, let's talk about it. We are going to have like a versus episode, okay? So the first story that we're going to talk about is Arnell Armon versus the internet. Now, if you guys do not know, Arnell Armon is an influencer. She's a lifestyle content creator, beauty, fashion, all that. She is also a twin. You guys know Alyssa Ashley. She started more so with makeup. She was that girl when it came to makeup. She also looked completely different. I was just talking to my friend the other day, and I was like, no, like Alyssa used to be bald, like for real, like bald. And now she has locks, and she's more into like the natural, neutral makeup. And she's a fitness guru, and I really am so proud of her, because it is not easy to pivot like that. She went from, like I said, being a baldy makeup girly to having locks and being a fitness girl. And it's not common for you to be able to switch your content like that and people still follow you. So kudos to her. Congratulations for being able to do that so successfully and still be in that like beauty world, because actually her and her sister just recently got invited to Fenty Beauty's event with the Rihanna, okay? And her name is Rihanna, not Rihanna. If you don't know, now you know. Stop calling her Rihanna. That is not her name, okay? That's not her name. That's not her name. That's not her name, damn it. But again, Arnell is more so of like the lifestyle vlogger, and as of like maybe a year ago, because I don't think that her baby is 1 year old yet, I don't think so, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, she had got out of a relationship, okay, and then ended up getting into a relationship with this guy, and she kind of had like shared the relationship just a tiny bit. Like she would share, I think the first time we saw them together was when they were opening Christmas gifts, and I remember thinking like, she looks so happy, this must be different. But it was relatively quickly after she had got out of the relationship, at least from the outside looking in. Like, we don't know when she got out of the relationship with that one dude. We just know when, you know what I'm saying, she posted it. We really don't know. And also, I just want to say this, because I know people be like, oh, it's too quick, like you can't fall in love quick, or you can get over a person quick. But depending on the situation, that's not always true. I'm speaking from experience. That's not always true. And it's not just about like being in a relationship or whatever. Depending on how deep the connection is, like obviously the deeper the connection, the harder it is to get over. But everybody is different, and everybody's timeline is different. And so to me, that's not necessarily a variable of this, but I noticed that a lot of people were talking about, oh, you know, she got out of this relationship. Since she is acknowledging that, she shouldn't have jumped into this relationship, you know what I'm saying, how she did. However, I just don't think that that should be the main factor here, because that's not the case for everybody. You know, some people get over trauma like that. Some people, it consumes them for the rest of their lives, and some people, they meet somewhere in between. All right, I'm just saying, like, let's be fucking for real. If we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation, baby. Like, okay. But anyway, basically she made a TikTok, and I'm gonna play it right now.
I typically don't get on camera looking like this, but there's a lot on my mind, so let's talk about it. So recently, there's been a lot of discourse about me being a single mother. I first want to start off by saying, if you're just now finding out this news, you're pretty late. However, I don't expect everyone to know me and my personal life. I know some of you guys are new to me. If you are, I'm a single mother. And to me personally, I have felt like a single mother since during my pregnancy, in ways mentally prepared myself for this based on how things were going during the relationship. But officially, I became a single mother 10 days after I gave birth. My child's father, I would say, abruptly ended the relationship and didn't give me an actual reason. I didn't ask for one. I saw that coming. In fact, I myself tried to end the relationship during the relationship. So it wasn't something I was upset about. I more so was upset about how I was treated afterwards. It's almost like because I didn't respond, I don't know if he wanted me to be like, oh my God, like, don't do this. I had just given birth. I was mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted. I didn't have the capacity to chase after anyone, especially someone who had caused me so much stress and turmoil anyways, that it felt more like a relief to me. But because I didn't respond in the way that I believe he was hoping I responded, so much of what he did after the fact was what made me think like, yo, are you trying to make my life hard? Are you trying to ruin my life? There's so many details that I have not shared in order to not just protect him, but to also to try to keep some peace. But it seems like no matter what I do, no matter how flexible I've been, no matter how chill I've been, there's no such thing as peace when dealing with someone who happens to be how he is. Now, there's been a lot of people talking about, oh, well, this is bound to happen. She barely knew him. I told you guys that. Now, if you did the math and you've been following me, you knew. But I shared that information with you guys. I've held myself accountable for that. I have said, I did not know him long enough before not even just getting pregnant by him, before even sleeping with him, getting into a relationship. I did not know that man or his family long enough before making such a big decision like the one that I made. And I have beat myself up about that time and time and time again. Like, yo, like, how did you... I don't have words for that. What I will say is that being that the relationship I had just ended prior to that one was so bad, I was in no space to be dating anybody. And so when I did start dating him, there were a lot of red flags that, one, I didn't even recognize the red flags, but two, some of the ones that I did peep, I ignored them because, being honest, you guys, he love bombed me so good. It felt amazing. It felt like, wow, like, I remember feeling like it was too good to be true and thinking like, ugh, is this real? Like, I was questioning it. And it turns out that was my discernment that I also ignored and had good reason to question his actions because they weren't real. But I wanted them to be, and I believe that they were during that time. To me, that's still no excuse to get pregnant that soon. However, since sharing this information, there's been many women who, if you've shared your story with me, thank you for trusting me with it, that have expressed to me to not fixate so much on how long I did or didn't know him, because the reality is some men change during pregnancy, after pregnancy. This could happen to anyone. This has happened to people who have known the man they've had a child with for years. And that's not to minimize my lack of responsibility for making that choice. But the reality is, I don't know how much responsibility I could take for it without completely taking all the blame, while y'all forgetting like how some of these men actually are, how a lot of them are manipulative, how a lot of them will intentionally get women pregnant and trap them and switch up on them. It happens time and time again. And unfortunately, because of the platform that I have, and because, that's the only thing I can think of. There's been a lot of people who, it's almost like, I've been doing this for 10 years. Sometimes it feels like there's people just waiting for me to either up or for something bad to happen to me so they could talk about it, because it happens every single time. And right now there's people saying that I've said things, that I've done things, so this is my karma. I want to let you know, if you're one of those people, I want you to look in the mirror and acknowledge what a hypocrite you are, because there's been a lot of people talking about, oh, well, she's made fun of this person and she's said this, and she's done this. Are you not doing the same thing? And so if I allegedly did these things, which I didn't, And my current circumstance is my karma for that, which I disagree with. I don't believe this is karma for anything. But if my situation, if this is my karma for doing these things that some of you guys are saying I'm doing, if you're doing the same thing that you're claiming I did, what happens when you get your karma? And it goes viral on social media. Would I then be the bad guy if I say, well, that's what they get for teasing me for being a single mom? No, I can't say that. Because since I have this platform, it's, oh, see, you're a messed up person. Stop looking for reasons not to like people. You don't have to like me. You don't need a reason for that. You don't. And you don't have to follow me either, because there's a lot of people who are engaging in negative discourse about me, saying all these negative things about me, but you follow me. And I'm not forcing you to do that. If you're following me in hopes that you see me fail, not going to happen. If you're following me in hopes that you see me mess up, that probably will happen, because guess what? Just because someone has a huge platform, it doesn't mean they're not a person. I'm not a robot. So yes, I'm going to mess up. I'm 29 years old. I don't know how much time I have on this earth, but I can guarantee you that if I live until I'm 80, from 29 to 80, you don't think I'm going to during that time? Do you not yourself? There's so many people who follow influencers waiting for them to mess up, looking for reasons to dislike them. They don't even realize how much projection they're doing. A lot of you guys project who you are onto me, and that's the reality. A lot of you guys project how you feel about yourself onto me. There's so many people who talk about, well, I think she's actually really mean. You're being mean right now. Stop projecting who you are onto me. What do you want me to say? Do I have my mean moments? Yes. Are there opinions and thoughts that if I shared them, some of you guys would disagree with them? Absolutely. I'm very opinionated. I'm not getting on here for everyone to agree with me either. I do my makeup videos, I do my hair videos, I do my little fragrance reviews, I do my little vlogs, and I keep it moving. I never told you guys to expect perfection out of me. The reason why I share the shitty things I experience, example, what I'm experiencing right now, is so that you guys know that I don't have a perfect life. Everything isn't sweet all the time. You know what I mean? Like, if I could share the good, I could share the bad, and that's what I do. Another thing, there's so many people who express that there's so many influencers that are just fake, like they don't show the real them. I show the real me, and I get criticized for it. Like, what do you want? What do you actually want? I feel like with the internet, like, you guys don't give people any room to grow. Some of you guys do, though, and I appreciate y'all. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, but then you're like, oh, grow, be this person, be perfect. Where's the room to do that? Can I get some room to do it? Anyways, that's a whole other rant. I'll talk more about this, if you guys would like to hear just my experience. I would like to share more, especially here on TikTok. But yes, I'm a single mother. I've been a single mother, like I said, for a while now. I think I've done a great job at navigating through this situation that I've put myself in, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And if you're someone that is celebrating this fact or in support of the hate I'm receiving, I don't want you a part of my community.
So basically in this video, as you can see, she is just admitting to her wrongs in the situation. She's had time to reflect. And to me, it seems like obviously she was so drawn to this man. And like, I remember watching that vlog and being like, she feels different about this man, because you can just tell by the like look in her eyes. But as she said, her last situation was relatively toxic, and so apparently her baby's father was doing all of those things that the other guy was not doing. And I think us as women, trust me, I get it, we seem to attach ourselves to that, but we, for whatever reason, forget about everything else that they still have to do right. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta come with all the other right shit that the nigga that wasn't doing what you needed him to do was doing. Okay? You still gotta come with all the rights. But what are you not doing right? Okay, I personally think, just in watching her, it was that, and then also I believe their older sister had a baby, and I remember her talking about how she wanted a baby and how she was probably going to be the next out the bunch, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden she becomes pregnant. I think she also admits that this was a planned pregnancy in that video, and so people were like, "What? You planned this pregnancy? Like what? Not only did you not know the man for more than a month or two, then you plan a pregnancy with him? Like, that's too fast." And again, everybody's timeline is different. I think that it's unfortunate that it happened the way it happened with him, and obviously she did not know him. But I don't think that that should deter you from making that decision again if you really like know yourself and know that person. The only time will tell, you know, when you're learning somebody else, even yourself. But if you have a clear understanding of who you are and they have a clear understanding of who they are, I think that it could potentially work. However, it's not common. I'm not encouraging this behavior. I'm not just saying, oh yeah, meet somebody one day and go marry them the next. I mean, some people do it and they actually have happy ever after. Some people do it and they end up getting their marriage annulled. I think that's the word. In the trash, if that wasn't the word. I do not know. But nonetheless, she made this video. She also had, like, you know, made the birthing video, whatever. People were noticing that he wasn't in the videos anymore, so they suspected that, like, he was nowhere to be found, was giving her backlash. I think that's why she came to the internet and made this video. I understand that as an influencer, certain things come with the space, but I never will understand, especially, like, not trolls. Trolls are different. Trolls are people that probably are, you know what I'm saying, living in their parents' basement with their underwear, you know what I'm saying, a bowl of cereal that's probably been sitting there for a week, and headphones talking about who am I gonna mess with next. Like, trolls are different, okay? They have no lives, and I can accept that. If that's your job, hey, I don't know how you get paid from trolling, but I'm pretty sure it's 2024. You can get paid for pretty much any fucking thing. However, for the people that actually have real pages, people like you and me, your everyday people, I just never will understand why you feel comfortable to go on somebody else's social media and talk shit as if you know them. Because, see, if I was just walking down the street looking so up to the flow up, would you come over to me and tap me and be like, bitch, you ugly? Like, no. I just don't understand why we have created this environment, this nature, to where, like, we've made this acceptable behavior. Like, to tell an influencer, oh, it just comes with territory. To tell a famous person, it just comes with the territory. Why? Like, why are we enabling that bad behavior? I don't know. But specifically for the single moms that had a lot to say about it, or the women that were raised by single moms, it's just mind-blowing. Because, like I said, she is very well aware of her mistakes, and I have to give that to Arnell. Like, people don't sit and reflect on what the fuck they did and how the fuck they got themselves into the situation. And that's one thing I can respect about her or anybody that's like that, because you are doing self-reflection. You're actually sitting there looking at yourself in the mirror, seeing where you went wrong so you don't make the same fucking mistake again. And then you're rerouting and you're learning yourself. And so I just want to say to her, you are doing an amazing job being a mother. You're doing an amazing job being a daughter. You're doing an amazing job being a sister, and every other role that you do play in your life. And not only that, you're doing an amazing job at learning your fucking self. And that's all you can do in this lifetime, is make a decision, stand 10 toes on that. And if that didn't work out, the fuck route. And I think that people like that are the best people in this world, in this lifetime. I truly do. Because there are people out there that make the same mistakes. There are people out there that know that they are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and they continue to do that shit over and over and over again. And those people are miserable. And those people are probably the people that are commenting on this girl's video. And they want her to be miserable too. And I don't know how she's really, like, coping with this. Obviously, she is sharing her story, so I am hoping that she's doing great. But just because she's sharing her story doesn't necessarily mean that when she turns off that camera, she's not bawling and crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a situation that she's still actively going through, you know? So I just think, you know, when we come over here and we talk about it, baby, we talk about it, we gonna talk about the real life shit and decisions on how we can be better people, not just us reflecting on ourselves, but us actually being better people to others. You know what I'm saying? I really am not understanding the backlash. Like, I can understand if Arnell was just like, yeah, I made this decision and I'll do it again and I don't care and fuck y'all. She's not. She made a mistake. And y'all just so happen to know about the mistake that she made because it was posted on the internet. So what? I think that that's one of the things that steers people away from wanting to be an influencer, because of all the backlash and all the, cancel culture. When you said this back in 2010, baby, I was a ninth grader. I was 14 years old. Are we fucking serious? I said a lot of shit at 14 years old. I said a lot of shit at 18 years old. I said a lot of shit at 25 years old, okay? And I'm not proud of. And I know that you have too. I wish that I could go back and rewind so I didn't say the shit, but hell, I said it, I did it. It is what it is. I learned from it. Did you? All in all, we have to do a better job at being better people to others and not using the norm as an excuse to behave diabolical. The other thing that I wanted to talk about on this topic was the fact that we focus so much on the mother and what the mother could have done, and why did you open your legs? Baby, I opened my legs because it felt good. No. Why did you open your legs? Why did you plan to have a baby with somebody you didn't know? Why would you do that? Why would you do this? Why? When are we gonna start shaming the men? When are we gonna start shaming the men that place the baby in the woman? Again, another society norm that I just don't understand. Yes, the body is a woman's temple. I get it. I get that we have to do a better job at really accepting that and taking out the double standards, because that's something that's hard to get over, right? The double standards is something that's really hard to shake, especially for women, because it just seems like it's not fair. And I think that although it's not fair, unfortunately, it's the reality. So once you can accept that, this is the reality, let me reshape my mind on how I think, we can move forward. I think that the reshaping of our minds will allow us to not think how others think, but take that same concept of a woman's body is her temple and apply it the correct way, not just because you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing this. No, women actually have a lot more power than what they think. It goes a long way, and so you can really get what you want with that thing. I'm just saying. But like I was saying, society likes to just shame women for this. And although she has taken her wrongs into consideration, why ain't nobody on the comments talking about him? And why ain't his parents on his ass? And why y'all boy moms, because let's talk about it real quick, why y'all boy moms always be enabling that badass behavior? What the fuck are we actually talking about? Let's raise our young men to be the young men that, we would want. That makes sense, right? Not raise our young men to be like the men that made you a single mother. Okay. I really feel like that's why we struggle as a community, because we put the bulk of the blame on the woman and not enough of the blame on men. There has to be a balance, because it took two people to get down and dirty, okay? So the next time you ask a woman, well, why did you open your legs? Why would you do that if you didn't even know him? You can proceed to ask that, but you also need to ask either him or her, how could you create a child and then leave? Get that bread, get that head, and leave. So for our next story, we have Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm so damn tired of this argument, but I got some shit to say. So let's talk about it. So I ran into this video that basically was sharing with us the difference between the introduction press conference that happened with Caitlin opposed to the introduction press conference that happened with Angel. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that clip.
Angel Reese is going viral after being welcomed to the Chicago Sky organization for her introduction press conference in what looked like to be poor fashion from the franchise. Because when you compare it to Caitlin Clark's introduction conference for the Indiana Fever, they look like they were preparing for this day for years. Bringing out a red carpet, having their gym packed with fans, media, cameras, front office staff, all giving hugs with joy. She was even escorted to the gym in a Mercedes Sprinter. And even the Minnesota Lynx welcomed their new rookie, Alyssa Peely, with much appreciation by greeting her with a tribal ceremony since she's Samoan with Alaska Native descent, while also having her local community members there to show love, as well as the Lieutenant Governor, Penny Flanagan, who is also of Native descent. However, for Angel Reese, she walked in alone in what looked like an empty high school gymnasium, as if the Chicago Sky wasn't even prepared for her introduction conference. There was minimal media, no fans, no exciting warm hugs from any front office staff. However, Reese has done exactly what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA so far. Both their jerseys have sold out and tickets have skyrocketed for both organizations before either player have put on a jersey. Both these women are breaking barriers for this sport, yet one is getting the proper recognition from their organization, but the other is looking like they're getting taken advantage of.
So let's get into it. After watching this video and so many other videos, I really just don't even understand why this is a topic of discussion. I don't. You guys want to see the black girl lose. So let's be fucking for real. If you followed basketball, if you've been following it for the past 2 years, because I feel like it's been elevated for the past 2 years, women's basketball in particular, college, this is the first year I want to say the WNBA has been like, there's been so many viewers or whatever, and obviously that's because of these household names. We have Caitlin Clark, we have Angel Reese, we have Cardoso, we have Flage. We have all of these names that are in the media, whether it's good media, bad media, whatever the case may be. Last year, Angel Reese was in the media a lot of the times, and although sometimes it was negative, I feel like she had a lot of positivity, majority of positivity circulating her name. I mean, she helped lead her team to a national championship, and they actually beat Caitlin Clark's team. And then this year, obviously, they met again, and Iowa got their get back. And so now we're hearing a lot of like Caitlin Clark, even though the baby girl didn't win the championship. You know, she is kind of now known as like the girl version of Curry. And don't get me wrong, baby girl got a shot, right? But let's just be fucking for real. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of the real reason why women's basketball, as you guys say, was not bringing in the numbers like they are now. It was because the lack of entertainment. Okay? And we're just going to keep it a buck over here. So if you don't want to hear the real, exit, please. What we're not going to do is make it seem like Angel Reese is not the reason. And yes, I'm saying that. We're not going to make it seem like Angel Reese is not the reason why women's basketball is on the incline. Okay? Whether that's college, whether that is the WNBA now, Angel Reese is the reason. Okay? She is the reason why we are on this incline. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark is a great-ass player. Okay? She is an amazing player. She is a phenomenal player. And she took a little bit of Angel Reese's formula. We're going to get into that in a second. But women's basketball, for the longest, you know, women had just been fighting to just be able to play at a competitive level. Okay? The WNBA is relatively new. Let me see when that opened. I feel like it was like 1996, which is when I was born. First year of the WNBA. Okay, so it was a year after. See, I wasn't born. Oh my God! It was 1997. That is still relatively new. Matter of fact, that is younger than me by a year. Okay? So they were just fighting to get their foot in the door just to be able to dribble the motherfucking ball. Alright? Like, we just had to get there. I just turned 28. So the WNBA is 27, 26, depending on when it was. It'll be 27 in June 21st. So it is 26 years old, okay? We just had to do that, while the NBA, the first game of the NBA was 1949. Okay, so they got a couple of years on us, clearly. So obviously they are more developed, and they weren't just sharing the fact that they could hoop, right? Like, not everybody, let me not say everybody can hoop, but anybody can pick up a basketball. If you're athletic, you know what I'm saying, you've been playing basketball, anybody can hoop. Okay, cool. But you don't just get through the door of being in the NBA for just being able to hoop. You get through the door for being able to hoop and have a personality. Follow me. Please follow me, because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm a hooper. Look at all of the big people. You think of Michael Jordan, which obviously is like one of the biggest household names. It's the biggest household name when it comes to the NBA. You think he just got that far from him just being able to hoop? No, he got that far because he was entertaining He was a hooper that was entertaining, okay? At the end of the day, the NBA, the WNBA, anything that you get involved in is a business. And basketball is in the business of what? Entertainment. How many videos, compilation videos do you see of LeBron just flopping? You see his personality through him playing his sport. These are not just people that are playing, right? But then you have, like, compared to the WNBA, you have your Lisa Leslie, you have your Maya Moore, you have your Candace Parker. All of those women can hoop, can hoop, right? But what do you know about them personality-wise? I'll wait. Okay, that's what I thought, right? It's not that women's basketball was shitty to watch, because realistically, in my opinion, women play with more strategy than men do anyway, which is why a women's team could beat a men's team if they use strategy. Like, obviously, men are more physical. They have that. But when you don't have strategy, strategy is part of the game. If you're playing a physical-ass men's team that don't got no strategy, they might just take the fucking L. Anyway, it wasn't until, in my opinion, Angel Reese transferred to LSU and started sharing her personality. And then what did other people do? They started having personality on the court. I still am who I am. I don't need to just pick up a ball and clap my hands and say, yeah, no, I'm going to tell you off. I'm going to push you. We're going to go at it. You're going to see my attitude. I'm going to swing my hair. My lashes are going to be done because I'm still a girl. My nails are going to be done. And guess what? I'm going to dap you up at the end of the game. And also, to you and you that was talking shit, don't act fake now just because we sit here saying good game, good game, good game. I don't want that energy, because I am who I am off the court and on the court. It wasn't until Angel that everybody started to say, oh, shit, let me actually be my fucking self. And it's not just Angel and Flau'jae, because I have to give it to her. Flau'jae is not just a basketball player, she's a rapper, and that girl is pretty consistent. These girls broke generational norms, and they opened the door for women that were already in the WNBA. Like, are y'all hearing me? Are y'all following me? So this whole argument between Caitlin Clark and Angel, first of all, they don't even play the same damn position. Like, what are we talking about? And in my opinion, although a lot of times people only focus on how many points did you have? I mean, that is not what any coach is just looking for. Like, you need more than just a scorer on the team. So, does Caitlin be having hella points? Yes. Baby girl can pull it from the other end of the gym. Okay? She can pull it and make that motherfucker. But in my opinion, it wasn't until this year that Caitlin started sharing her personality. And do I agree with her personality? No, I do not. It's very passive-aggressive. I can't stand a passive-aggressive person. I think it's probably like my number one pet peeve, because I'm an Aries, and I feel like, just say how you fucking feel. Just say it. Just be blunt. I can't stand when people are passive-aggressive. But hey, that's who she is. And I'm able to notice that just by her playing basketball. Like, baby girl is going to throw rocks and hide her hands. Like, hands down. That's what she's going to do. And that, in my opinion, is the reason why she has now elevated, because she been making shots. Like, what the fuck are we saying? She's been doing that shit. She's been a phenomenal player. But what did she start to show this year? Her personality. And let's just be fucking for real. I don't know if it's a community thing. You guys, hopefully y'all don't flag me. But I just feel like a lot of white people are white. And my, what's her name? What's that girl's name? Winnie Parker, and my Winnie Parker voice are passive-aggressive. And she shares that, and it works for her. And so that is the real reason why this is even a conversation. That is the real reason why we are even sitting here comparing these two. But Caitlin definitely took a page out of Angel's book. And what you guys are trying to do is, because she's a woman, you guys are letting it slide. When Angel did the same thing. Angel did the same thing. She showed who she was. You have footage of Angel saying, watch your mouth, and you have footage of Caitlyn actually pushing people and then being like, what are you talking about? They do the same thing. The people just get away with it a little bit more. But I'm not familiar with how the press conferences go. I know that they threw the other girl in there. I don't even know what her name was, but she was of some type of culture you guys saw in the video. And they were trying to say, like, Caitlyn was all dressed up, and then, Angel Reese looked like she was in a high school gym. Yeah, I guess that's a fair observation. But then this other girl, like, they did all this for her, and she had on Yeezy slides and leggings. So I don't know if it's supposed to be a big thing or not. I don't know if it was a difference in the atmosphere. Like, Caitlyn went to Indiana, Angel went to Chicago. I don't really know, because like I said, Angel is the reason why anybody has this press how they do in the WNBA, in college, whatever the case may be. I hope you guys take a page out of her book and you really start to share your personality, because that is what you guys are missing. It's not because women just can't fill the stands. Well, why can't they? Because it's not entertaining. People want to be entertained. Why do you think that man, what the hell is his name? I'm having a brain fart. Damn, what is his name? Draymond Green. I'm like, what the hell is his name? Draymond Green, why do you think that he's still in the NBA? This man got suspended indefinitely. Like, that man came back almost immediately. And why? Until he does something to really mess up their standards and like what the NBA believes in, like, he would really have to do some off the wall stuff to whoever like owns the NBA. If they didn't agree with that, or they just felt like, okay, you crossed our line, then he would be gone. But until then, he's bringing in money because he's just diabolical. And I mean, I do not like him as a player. I think that he's ridiculous and he needs to be suspended, expelled. Like, you need to be humbled, sir. Because you just do a lot. Isn't he from like Saginaw or something? Let me see. Yeah, he's from Saginaw. Makes sense. See, your girl knows her basketball, so y'all ain't think I knew. That's just my 2 cents on that story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did what I say make sense, baby? Because I felt like it made a lot of sense. Alright, let's get into our last story of today. We've just been talking. We've been chatting it up, girl. It's been a while. But we need to hurry up because I'm getting hungry. Alright. B Simone versus Megan Ashley. Now, I know that this is like an older story, but I just really wanted to touch on it because kind of as of recently, my Aries sister, B Simone, dropped her trailer of Let's Try This Again, which is her new podcast. And some of you guys thought it was a little shady. And even if it wasn't a little shady, baby girl smart. Because one thing about them Aries women is that we are boss. And we are marketing queens, okay? B Simone, Sierra. Like, should I go on? Like, please, stop playing. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Come on, baby, don't play with it. Okay, so did y'all feel like that was shady? I mean, there might have been a little shade in there, but I personally feel like she told her truth. As we know, we've seen publicly, like, the things that we have seen publicly, B Simone has been through a lot, and it does seem like she just cannot catch a break and that people are just always hating on her, okay? Like, but here's the thing about Aries, bro. Here's the thing about us. One thing about an Aries is that when we come into the room, you're going to feel us, okay? You're going to feel, and what you're going to feel is the truth. What you're going to feel is the real, whether that's about us, whether that's about you, whether that's about the people you have around you, you're going to feel it. And so either you're going to love us or you're going to hate us, because either you're ready to accept those things that you already knew about yourself, so you're going to love us so much for that because we're going to motivate you, or you're going to hate us because you're not ready to accept those things, and you're going to hate us because we're telling you about yourself. That it just is what it fucking is. Aries, comment down in the comments below if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Aries, am I wrong? I ain't wrong. I just feel like B Simone is kind of just going through this thing where people are just like not fucking with who she is as a person. But at the end of the day, baby girl's not changing. Like, she's going to continue to be unapologetically her. And I think that's something that I admire about her. And she said that in one of these clips. I will go ahead and play that.
I resigned from Know For Sure 7 months ago. I walked away from that platform 7 months ago, and it was not an impulsive decision. It wasn't an easy decision. It took a lot of time, effort, thought, prayer, fasting, and I'm so glad that I've had time to heal, not fully healed. I lost a relationship. I walked away from I walked away from my baby. Anytime I birthed a business and put my all financially, mentally, emotionally into that, it is my baby. I don't have kids. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So when I am birthing something, it's my business. It's B Simone Beauty, podcast, clothing line, merch, cosmetics, stand up. Those are my babies, and I put my all into it. And Know for Sure was no different. It just was time for me to walk away. And like I said, God gave me a lot of clarity through fasting, praying, and being patient. It wasn't an impulsive decision, but I'm glad that I get to talk about it now, because you have to take time before you speak on something. And some things don't need to be spoke on publicly. Like you don't always have to fight battles publicly and stick up for yourself. God will vindicate you when the time is right, So I feel like I'm at such a good space to even talk about my process and my experience in that friendship, in that podcast, in that realm. It was very, very difficult when you have built such a friendship and you're so close with somebody. And not only did I walk away from a long friendship, I walked away from a lot of money and success. And I walked away from a platform that was just getting started, but we did so many amazing things so quickly. And it was just so impactful. It was so impactful. But I truly believe, and I know for sure, that that foundation was not fully right. And it would have either crashed later or I had to walk away at that time that I did. And I'm so proud of my decision. But y'all, freedom and being free from a situation where there's a person, a business, a relationship, a mindset, it doesn't mean you don't have to grieve that situation and heal from that. I am really realizing, outside of just Know for Sure, me walking away from certain people and certain situations that no longer served me, grieving those things still existed, even though I felt free walking away. There was a weight off of my shoulder. There was anxiety lifted. There was nervousness lifted. There was a peace because I know I got my answer from God and I was obedient and I didn't act off impulse and emotion. But that doesn't mean I didn't have to heal through that process. And that is exactly what I'm going through now. Grieving a relationship, grieving a business that I thought would be the number one podcast in the world. We made it to number 7, though. We did. We made it to number 7. But y'all know me, I was like, this is the number one podcast in the world. This is the number one podcast in the world. And it just shows that even though God has a different idea, the purpose, the vision doesn't change. It just looks different. I'm not changing who I am. I'm not changing the vision. I'm not changing the purpose. It's just on a different platform. I'm by myself and it looks different, right? So yeah, I want people to know that even though you get freedom in a certain area, both things can be true at once. I have freedom here because I know I was obedient. I know I walked away from something that chapter was closed, and that's okay. And I'm trying to heal and grow from that situation. I'm happy that I made that decision, but I'm also grieving the idea I had of a friend, of a relationship that I thought was going to be forever, of a podcast that I thought was at least going to be years, decades old, and grow into that platform. We did so much in such a short amount of time. I was like, oh, this is about to take off. And it did take off. But walking away from that it wasn't easy at all. And I'm so proud of myself for doing it in the midst of certain situations that I had to walk away from. I'm not just talking about that situation. I'm saying in general, in the season I'm in now, the closer I got to God, the further I got away from certain people. And that's okay. That's okay. The closer I got to God, the further I got away from this lifestyle, this person, this mindset. I'm changing, I'm evolving. And certain people that you think are going to be with you till the end they're just not. This is not about one situation. This is not about Know for Sure in general by itself. I have had to do this in family. I've had to do this in business. I have to do this with friendships. And it's also stemming back to me as a person. This really isn't about anybody else. It's about what I have to fix about me, that I'm constantly allowing certain things in my life. I'm constantly not healing. And I thought I had so much abundance of self-love. Looking back, I realized I was really operating in certain situations, in business, in friendships, in family, in all across the board, from a place of lack of love, because I wanted to be validated and accepted so much that I didn't have boundaries. I didn't stick up for myself in the moment. I didn't open up my mouth. I didn't um do what was best for me in a lot of situations. I was people pleasing. And now I'm trying to get to the root of why that is. And through therapy and through help, baby, because I need some help now. You can't start blaming everybody else for your problems. What part did you take in your own suffering? What role did you play in your own suffering? You have to face that. And that is a hard thing to do, because now you have to forgive yourself. I'm going through that process now of self-awareness, self-forgiveness, and going back to the root of why I am the way I am. It comes from wanting to be liked. It comes from seeking validation. It comes from my childhood, the house I was raised in. And yeah, I just think that that's really important to acknowledge, whether you're going through a breakup, whether you're going through a divorce, whether you're going through um a business deal that went bad, whatever that is, acknowledging the part you played in it and how to heal that so you don't take that forward into your other relationships. And then being so hurt in a situation that you don't allow hurt to taint you. You don't allow it to make you paranoid. You don't allow it to block off your heart and not allow you to love again, to trust again, to build other friendships again, to go into another business idea again. You so scared that the last business deal went so bad and you got played and they stole your money and they took this from you and that from you, that you're so scared to go into any other business with another partner or with another idea or with, so making sure you're not tainted and so guarded so that you can move forward and being who God called you to be. I know God called me to have a bubbly personality, an open personality, to love people, to accept people with a pure heart, an open heart, to see good in everybody, to just be a good person. And in return, you do get hurt. So now I'm looking for, okay, God, how do I still use who you called me to be my gift and my personality, but have discernment and not block off my heart, but guard my heart.
And in one of the clips of her, I want to say her first podcast, she actually talked about her not changing. And I love that for her, because she's not going to change who she is. Like, obviously she's going to expand who she is. She's going to grow. She's going to better who she is, but she's not going to change who she is for you or anybody else. And I personally feel like we all could see that B Simone and Megan Ashley's dynamic was a little bit different. And not that that's a problem, because, you can be friends with anybody that you want to be friends with. But I think it was just evident that B Simone is really more so of an entertainer. That is her main passion. Entertainer, entrepreneur. She's about her money. And she is that, but she's a person that is growing in that, as well as growing her relationship with God. And I think that that is more so, me. Like, I never talk about my relationship with God online. I probably never will. That is not what I feel like my ministry is. I don't feel like that is why I was personally put on earth. You'll hear me say certain things, and you'll hear the way that I think, and you can just put two and two together. Obviously, I sit here in deep thought. I have amazing conversations with God. He shows me the way to a lot of things. I just said I wasn't going to talk about God, and here I am talking about him. But I'm never going to have those deep conversations, because honestly, well, I don't want to say never, but it's not going to be a consistent thing. That is not my ministry. Okay, it's not. Whereas to Megan Ashley is giving Sarah Jakes. You know what I'm saying? It's giving she wants to preach a sermon. It's giving, you know, especially if you are somebody that's a religious person or even a spiritual person and you have somebody that's like this level of spiritual and this level is so high you can't even see it in the frame. Okay. I think that Megan was just there and she was just so focused on spreading the gospel, getting people's stories, praise reports, and sharing that and spreading God's love and joy. And like that was her sole purpose, like nothing else. Like nothing else was her purpose outside of like, you know, being a mother or whatever. Like that was her sole purpose. And when you have two different types of people like that, it just doesn't work. And that is okay. And again, I go back to the Arnell situation. Like sometimes you just have to accept things for like what they are and how it is. Like not everything is like so negative. They just two different people. Duh. Like you not seeing it? Like they was just different. Like just different. Like B Simone is like the life of the party. Megan has kids and just, you know, got out of a marriage and is more so laid back. Like that doesn't work for all the time thing. You know what I'm saying? Like not all the time. Like you can have friends or be around people that are like that or that are completely opposite of you every once in a while. But you know, you ever heard of like opposites attract? Yes, opposites attract, but opposites do not last. And I say that, and I truly believe that. If raise your hand if your parents were opposite and they didn't last. Look, I see a hand. I see a hand. I see a hand. It doesn't last. It doesn't work. You cannot be completely opposite of somebody and expect for that shit to work and expect for you to be around them 24/7. It doesn't work. You guys are not on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? You guys can meet up. You guys can have a great, strong ass connection, but you guys cannot be around each other all the time. And I feel like that's truly the reason why their friendship took a turn. I mean, they were in business together. They were doing everything together. They were going on tour. They were doing this, that, the third. They don't think the same. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, I want y'all to stop making it seem like B Simone is just that devil, because she's not. Like, everybody's walk with God does not look the same. It doesn't have to be, okay, so let me just get on my knees and pray and let me do this. I don't have that relationship with God. Like, I do pray, don't get me wrong, but God is my homie. Like, I feel like I started building a real solid relationship with God when I can look at him as my friend. Like, as somebody that actually had my back. Like, you're not going to necessarily, at least for me, you guys can speak for yourselves, but like in the real world, you're not going to look at somebody that's like above you, per se, as if they got your back. Like, for example, your boss. Like, do you really think that your boss has your back?
Bombastic side eye.
No. And obviously, like, God is above me. But I'm saying, like, how the type of relationship, friendship that I have does not look like, and dear God, just thank you for everything you've done. And dear God, like, it doesn't look like that. And not everybody's looks like that. Okay? Again, I said I wasn't going to talk too much about God. I'm just saying, he knows my heart for real. But B Simone says something really important. And I just want to pull this up real quick. She said in her video, you know, you have to know what role you played in your own suffering. So after, you know, you remove yourself from the relationship, you have to recognize what role did you play in your own suffering. And that right there told me everything I needed to know, because it lets me know that she's growing and that, again, she did what? Self-reflection. And I just love something about a self-reflection girly just makes me happy, because motherfuckers out here do not know how to do that shit for real. Like, they just be pointing the finger. It's your fault. It's your fault. Is it really? Because why the fuck you keep attracting this energy? I mean, maybe she did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he did that. But why you keep accepting that shit? You have to recognize that I'm pointing at you, allowed for it to go that far. And once you are able to recognize that, you can heal from that. You can heal from anything. And so, again, I think that they are both on their healing journey. They are both doing amazing things. They both are in their own lane, as they should be. And I just wanted to speak on that. I don't understand why this is a versus battle. Obviously, the one thing we had in common with all of these stories today is I don't really understand why we are making people verse each other. Let's just accept it for what the fuck it is and move on. But let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments. If you have anything that you want to add on to it, let me know, because like I said, I love to talk. Let me know what you guys think about my new setup. Let me know what you think about my new energy. Okay? Let me know what you thought. Even if you think that I'm ugly and my hair is messed up, which my hair is messed up. I'm about to take these braids out. I was supposed to been come and film with these braids when they was nice and crispy, and now they're not. It's time to go back to my boho braids, but the content had to be filmed. It had to be. I was putting it off for way too long. I knew that I was being told that I needed to do this, and so now we're here. Again, thank you guys so much, and make sure that you guys subscribe, because we always have a lot to unpack here.